Across the northern third of the island of Great Britain stretches a land of windswept mountains, mirror-still lochs, ancient castles, and fierce, proud identity. Scotland, home to around 5 million people, it is a nation within the United Kingdom, sharing a state with England, yet holding tightly to its own laws, its own culture, and its own unmistakable spirit. It's the land of whiskey and bagpipes, of tartan and Highland games, and of a people who gave a staggering number of inventions to the modern world. This is Scotland, seen from above. Welcome to Aerial Atlas. Scotland covers around 78,000 square kilometers, and it splits broadly into two worlds. In the south lie the rolling Lowlands, where most of the people live, in cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow. And to the north rise the wild, dramatic Highlands, a vast expanse of rugged mountains, deep glens, and empty moorland, crowned by Ben Nevis, the highest peak in all of the British Isles. Scattered around its long, ragged coastline are over 800 islands. Among them the Hebrides, Orkney, and Shetland, battered by the cold waters of the Atlantic and the North Sea. It is the Highlands that give Scotland its legendary brooding beauty. This is a landscape of steep-sided valleys, heather-covered hills, and dark, deep lochs, the most famous of all being Loch Ness, said to be home to a certain elusive monster. There's the haunting valley of Glencoe, the jagged peaks of the Isle of Skye, and mile upon mile of wild, almost untouched wilderness. It is some of the most spectacular and romantic scenery anywhere in Europe, and it has drawn travelers, poets, and painters for centuries. Scotland's history is long, proud, and often fierce. After centuries of Picts, Gaels, and a powerful medieval kingdom of Scotland, it fought bitter wars of independence against England, producing national heroes like William Wallace and Robert the Bruce, who secured a famous victory at Bannockburn in 1314. This was a land of clans, each with its own tartan and territory, and of dramatic castles built to guard against invasion. A history of battle and fierce loyalty, still woven deeply into the national identity today. In 1603, the Scottish King James VI also inherited the English throne, uniting the two crowns. Then, in 1707, the two parliaments merged, creating the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Yet Scotland never melted away. It kept its own legal system, its own schools, and its own national church, and to this day has its own parliament back in Edinburgh. In 2014, Scots even voted in a historic referendum on leaving the Union, choosing, narrowly, to remain. But the question of independence still burns. The capital, Edinburgh, is one of the most beautiful cities in all of Europe. Its skyline is dominated by Edinburgh Castle, perched dramatically on an ancient volcanic rock, looking down over the medieval Old Town and the elegant Georgian New Town, together a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Down the historic Royal Mile and through its hidden closes, the city hums with history. And every summer, Edinburgh hosts the largest arts festival on the planet, the Fringe, when the whole city becomes one giant stage. For such a small country, Scotland has shaped the modern world to an almost unbelievable degree. The Scottish Enlightenment gave us thinkers like Adam Smith, the father of modern economics, and the philosopher David Hume. And Scots invented, or helped invent, an astonishing list of things. The telephone, the television, penicillin, the pedal bicycle, tarmac roads, and huge improvements to the steam engine that powered the entire Industrial Revolution. Pound for pound, few places on Earth have produced more world-changing ideas. And then there is whiskey, Scotch whiskey, known in Gaelic as the water of life. For centuries, Scots have been turning barley, water, and peat smoke into one of the most celebrated drinks on the planet. From the gentle malts of Speyside to the fierce, smoky whiskies of the island of Islay, Scotland's distilleries produce a spirit exported to and treasured in every corner of the world. It is, quite simply, the national drink and a global symbol of the country itself. Scottish culture is loud, proud, and gloriously distinctive. There are the bagpipes, whose haunting drone is the very sound of the nation, the kilt and its clan tartan, energetic ceilidh dancing, and the Highland games where kilted athletes toss enormous wooden poles called cabers. The national poet Robert Burns is celebrated every year on Burns Night, and Scotland's New Year's celebration, Hogmanay, is famous around the world for its sheer scale, warmth, and joy. Scottish food is hearty fuel for a cold, damp climate. The national dish is famously haggis, a savory pudding of minced sheep's offal, oats, and spices, traditionally served with neeps and taties, that is to say turnips and potatoes. There's rich Scotch broth, delicate smoked salmon, sweet buttery shortbread, and the country's own bright orange soft drink, Urn Brew. It is warm, filling, no-nonsense cooking, built for long winters and big appetites. Modern Scotland is more than mountains and history. Glasgow, its largest city, was once a mighty industrial powerhouse of shipbuilding, and today pulses with art, music, and energy. Off the northeast coast, vast reserves of North Sea oil and gas turned the city of Aberdeen into Europe's oil capital. And now Scotland is racing into the future as a leader in renewable energy, its windswept hills and seas perfectly suited to powering the country with wind. And then there is football, a sport that runs deep in the Scottish soul. In fact, the very first official international football match in history was played right here, between Scotland and England, back in 1872. Today, the passionate, kilt-wearing supporters known as the Tartan Army follow their team across the world in joyous numbers. After long years of heartbreak and near misses, Scotland is back among the world's best. And for 2026, the Tartan Army marches once again towards the World Cup. A small northern nation of wild highlands and ancient castles, of whisky, invention, and fierce, enduring identity punching far above its weight in ideas, culture, and spirit. That was Scotland from above. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribe. Here on Aerial Atlas, we fly over a new country every day.